football world, how strong is the greatest keyboard warrior? When most people behind the keyboard are all talk, no action, he is both articulate and action-oriented and has the ability to lead Messi out of the quagmire and secure a coronation for him during the 2016 Copa America Cup. Lionel Messi, who has tried his best for his motherland, fell at the final for the fourth time. Exhausted, he was about to make a heartbreaking decision in the world football arena.
Para mí la selección, ya como dije recién, son 4 finales, no es para mí.
At the same time, another Leo became indignant on social media. This picture speaks for itself. Don't go, Leo. His name is Lionel Scaloni. Although both names contain law, compared to Messi, the first half of Scaloni's life was so ordinary that in response to why he was chosen to represent Argentina in the 2006 World Cup, legendary coach Peckerman said Scaloni is humorous, funny, and stable in the locker room, but this ordinary man was chosen by God to lead the destiny of Messi and Argentina. In the 2018 World Cup, Scaloni entered the Argentine national team as a team analyst. This seemed to be a trivial matter, but no one could have imagined that this was a gift from God to Scaloni to change his fate. However, the protagonist's journey to the right track is never smooth sailing. When Argentina, with an aging lineup, unexpectedly clashed with the youthful storm launched by France in the round of 16 at the World Cup, problems lurking in the shadows began to emerge. With a slow defense rate and an offense overly reliant on Messi, troubles piled up as the full match drew to an end. The Argentinians eventually succumbed in the 1/8 finals as the commentator reluctantly reported the disappointing 3-4 loss of the Pampas Eagles to the Gallic Rooster. Lionel Messi, the Messiah of Argentina, the football king of countless fans, stood on the field with an air of resignation. No matter how great a hero might be, they could also become worn out from the weight of tremendous expectations and burdens. Meanwhile, Argentina descended into turmoil again, with the national coach being dismissed and a slew of veterans bowing out. Countless Argentinian football fans, for whom their beloved sport is akin to life itself, shed tears on the pitch, in the squares, and on the streets, just as a pall of sadness blanketed the Pampas grasslands. Another ordinary Leo stepped up, facing unprecedented pressure. Scaloni decided to take on the role of Argentina's coach. Everyone said the Argentine Football Association had lost their minds, that Scaloni was beyond help, but only he knew 2 years ago. He had watched Messi fall in the final moments of the championship as a bystander. Now, when fate bestowed an opportunity upon him, despite never having managed a premier team and being viewed as a temporary solution by the Argentine Football Association, he decided to stand his ground. Now, when fate bestowed an opportunity upon him, despite never having managed a premier team and being viewed as a temporary solution by the Argentine Football Association, he decided to stand his ground. He had seen Messi's eyes filled with despair too many times and had watched generations of Argentinian fans weeping beneath the obelisk. This time, despite the adversity, he was ready to forge ahead. The story progresses to the point where, in line with a century of Argentine football traditions, 2 scenarios could play out for Scaloni. One possibility was to follow the example of Menotti, Argentina's first championship coach, in creating a well-integrated team that relies less on star power. The other was to emulate Bilardo, Argentina's second championship coach, by going to great lengths to provide a stage for the team's brightest star to shine. Yet, this man, whose name subtly includes law, carved out a path for the dazzling Leo Messi that, while diverging from traditional Argentine football, was rife with countless potential. Since Scaloni took charge, the mighty Eagles of the Pampas underwent a rapid transformation. They became not just younger and more cohesive, but also incredibly assertive in their gameplay. 5-star Brazil, European Cup champion Italy, and other prestigious teams were one by one defeated by Scaloni and Messi. But how did Scaloni accomplish all of this? D. Paul revealed the behind-the-scenes answer. There has always been a good atmosphere and positive energy within the Argentina team. The technical staff are critical in shaping this. Scaloni, he is not just adept at talent selection, but also excels at analyzing each individual's personality. On the pitch, Scaloni required the entire team to follow Messi's on-spot demands, attacking and defending around him. Off the field, Scaloni emphasized treating this extraordinary talent as a friend, freeing him from the constraints of pressure, and instilling in these younger players a sense of shared responsibility to win for Argentina. However, when the Pampas Eagles stepped onto the stage of the Qatar World Cup, things seemed to veer towards an unpredictable trajectory. Their defeat to Saudi Arabia in the opening match attracted a swarm of criticism, even as they progressed through the knockout stages with victory after victory. The media, scrutinizing every move, still labeled Scaloni's style of football as imperfect. His game lacked the characteristic tango of Argentine football and was seen as overly cautious. Not until the final enemy charged towards Scaloni and Messi did the world pause its disputes and focus on the final of the Qatar World Cup. Argentina's opponent, as it happened, was their old acquaintance, France. Even though the Argentine squad was now strong and young, Scaloni's expression remained worried. After all, They were facing the World Cup champions from 4 years prior. Having experienced the despair at Kazan Stadium, he knew better than anyone the potential this French team held as the game was dragged into a penalty shootout following a resilient equalizer from Mbappe. Scaloni's past flashed through his mind. As he watched the young players aligning to take their penalties, he remembered how he used to doubt his ability to do well in a World Cup, and how the Argentina Messiah once gently reassured him, "It's okay, if we fail next time, we will start over. Try again in one day. We will figure it out."
Montiel. Argentina, champions of the world!
At this moment, Scaloni, who had been constantly supporting and accompanying Messi, finally shed those darn tears and embraced another Leo with emotion. But this was not the end of the story. When Scaloni and Messi returned to their familiar Pampas grasslands with the World Cup, a greater storm had silently brewed in this nation, which had gone bankrupt 7 times and numbed itself repeatedly with football. As the coach leading the Argentine team to their 3rd championship, Scaloni naturally became a target of interest for various political factions. They reached out to him time and again, hoping that Scaloni would step out of the world of football. But this man, who always paid for even his family members' tickets, maintained the attitude of a true football person. He openly rejected the offers, even going so far as to suggest that he might quit to ward off the absurd farce. Just like he said a year ago, after the loss to Saudi Arabia, Argentina's players would give their all for the country. But the World Cup is just about football, and football is not life. Stay pure, stay simple. That is the enduring and unchanging beautiful ideal held in the hearts of the two ordinary and humble Leos, who only aspire to be good people,